Welcome back. We are currently covering India's 5G launch. Today, Prime Minister Narendra Modi is all set to launch 5G services in select city and progressively detail out how 5G is going to progress to the rest of the country. This launch is going to take place in moments from now at the India Mobile Congress, which is taking place at Pragati Maidan in Delhi. IMC, this is the 6th edition of the India Mobile Congress. It will be taking place from 1st to 4th. But today, we will have Prime Minister as well as the telecom leaders from Bharti Airtel, Reliance Jio, as well as Vodafone Idea, amongst hundreds of startups who will be talking about the transformational impact 5G is going to have on India's economy. We're in conversation right now with Sanjay Kapoor as well as Prakash Diwan to understand the market implication and what it means for telecom operators as well as they get all set to roll out their 5G plans in India. In moments from now, in about 10 to 15 minutes, we will have Prime Minister Modi who will be addressing the nation as this milestone event takes place of 5G in India. Sanjay, it's as you said, it's going to be a very long and tough road till the customers applaud the experience and get the benefit, the true benefit of 5G, which is significantly higher speed. But in your opinion, what are the issues that telecom companies will face in this long road?
So I think multiple of those issues. The technology is available and the spectrum has been made available. The government has done well to at least define a draft where a 360-degree view of the policy that's required to make it happen is also there. Things like right of way, things like sharing, because the government, I think, clearly recognizes that the best use of 5G can be done when all ecosystem providers begin to share the resources. I think that's pretty well understood. It has been made less punitive going forward. That's another applaud on the policy that is being done. But I think putting together an infrastructure, for example, fiber backhaul, connecting all sites to fiber, increasing the number of towers so that there are no black spots, so that things like low latency can be utilized to their fullest, is something that will require both time and expenses and will happen as we progress. The next gap today is the use cases. Like what I said, the use cases have to be defined, adopted, and then be brought to scale where monetization of those use cases can be done. And finally, like I said, all elements, the elements of devices, storage, security, content, applications, all come together to play with the infrastructure that will be provided by the operators to offer a seamless customer experience. This is something that cannot be done overnight. It happens with experience and it happens with trial and failures.
Okay, Prakash, wanted to understand the implications for Vodafone Idea. You know, we were talking about how both the large players, Bharti as well as Reliance Jio, have detailed their 5G rollout plans and they're aggressive. So just, as a quick recap, Reliance Jio has said in its AGM that it will target the 4 metro cities, Mumbai, Delhi, Calcutta, as well as Chennai by Diwali this year. That means in a few days from now or, 2 weeks from now. They're looking at a pan-India 5G presence by December of 2023. Bharti Airtel is talking about a 5G presence in 5,000 cities and talukas by March 2024, which basically means in the next 18 months, Bharti and Reliance Jio's 5G presence is going to be fairly ubiquitous. Up until now, we do not have the clarity from Vodafone Idea. Do you think this is going to be a big trigger for Vodafone Idea's customers to port out of Vodafone Idea and move to rivals?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. So I think that's the biggest, challenge that Vodafone faces. And with the Indus Tower claim, that's a big overhang of sorts in terms of quantum and in terms of intensity or seriousness. My sense is that you will see a lot of people getting finally disappointed. And if you actually have 5G available at affordable prices from 2 of the other large players, and Vodafone's probably not got its act together on that, there's no reason why high-end users will not want to move and port out of Vodafone. It's as simple. They will lose the creamier segment of customers that they probably still have. I mean, it's not much that's left with them, but even then, that's going to be definitely a big blow. So the whole landscape is going to change dramatically in spite of the government's efforts at keeping Vodafone as the third respectable player in the fray. They've not been able to probably come up to that level where they could compete or even make some sort of a presence felt. And 5G is a different ballgame. As Sanjay is explaining, it's not only capital intensive, it's time bound. So whether that mortality, is for Vodafone is something which gets stretched in this period, I really don't know. The propensity to survive is getting to be a bit difficult for Vodafone at this point. So I'm sure there will be a loss of not only business, but loss of opportunity, a big time opportunity for Vodafone if they have not got their act together timely enough for the rollout. I mean, it's still not too late, but I don't see any announcements, any kind of a move, and there's no capital to back that up.
It is being plagued by a lot of issues. They've still not managed to get the government to convert the AGR interest on the AGR dues into equity. The external funding of 10,000 crores is still pending. They continue to lose revenue market share, subscriber market share very rapidly, month after month. They are losing about 10 to 15 lakh subscribers. Their revenue market share 5 years back was 38%. As of FY22, when I last checked, the revenue market share dwindled down to about 18 to 19%. And now we still don't have clarity on Vodafone Idea's 5G launch. On your screen right now, you can see Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who is at the Bharti Airtel booth, where the officials from Bharti Airtel are showcasing Bharti Airtel's 5G plans, what their enterprise use cases. In terms of the demo that Airtel is planning to showcase in front of Prime Minister Modi, a girl from Uttar Pradesh is going to be witnessing an immersive education experience where she will learn about the solar system with the help of virtual reality and augmented reality. So it's going to show us that how advanced technologies like VR, AR, coupled with the faster speed of 5G, the low latency, the seamless connectivity can be a game changer in terms of an experience. So that we will see in moments from now. But right now, Prime Minister Modi, accompanied by Telecom Minister Ashwini Vaishnav, who was instrumental in the huge success of the 5G auctions, where the government garnered more than 1.5 lakh crore rupees, and in a matter of weeks managed to assign the spectrum to the telecom operators. And I think in August is when, 1st of August is when the auctions got concluded. And look, here we are on 1st of October. In 2 months, India is all set to launch 5G services in India. And I think a lot of the credit goes to Ashwini Vaishnav. I think there was a statement from Sunil Bharti Mittal post the auctions, and he had said for the first time in his experience in 30 years, it was conducted, the auctions were fuss-free. There was no roaming around the corridors of Delhi. And he says that this is truly the ease of doing business, the 5G auctions and the way it was conducted. So you have Prime Minister Narendra Modi accompanied by Ashwini Vaishnav, the telecom minister, who's at the Bharti Airtel, telecom booth. Different use cases. They span across various industries. In cars, the hope is that 5G will enable autonomous driving. In the healthcare sector, the hope is that it will enable remote surgeries, which is particularly useful in a country like India, where the medical staff, the trained medical staff, is a lot less compared to the population. So if a doctor in Mumbai can enable a remote surgery in a faraway village, it can be a game changer in India's healthcare system. So the opportunities across sectors in e-governance, in citizen services, in various sectors, we can see 5G enabling a lot of innovative use cases. The experience will be a lot nicer for everyone. Let me also, continue our conversation with our experts. The visuals are up for you on your screen. As you can see, there is something about a hospital control room on your screen. Sanjay, you spoke about the infrastructure. How many more towers do we need today? I think, and also in terms of a fiber backhaul to get that seamless connectivity. I think today only about 34% of the towers have a fiber backhaul. What do those two numbers need to increase? One, in terms of number of towers in India to support a good 5G experience, and also in terms of a backhaul.
So I think to get to the destination, I would be happier to see maybe 75–80% of the towers connected to fiber. And, to build up a infrastructure of towers, small cells, large cells, all put together, I think let's not second guess here and go by the experience of some other countries. And to me, China is a good example here. If you look at China, they've already crossed about 1 million sites or towers. and are talking about trebling it or quadrupling it from here. If we were to go by that and say, okay, we are not China, we are probably smaller than China, and we don't need that much of densification. I mean, still from where we are to go at least 3-4 times on the number of towers, whether small cells, large cells, is easily something that we will have to reach if we want to get to a great experience.
Prakash, what impact is this going to have on Indus Stars, in your opinion? How should shareholders of Indus Stars read this development?
No, I think they are probably sitting in a very sweet spot of sorts. If you look at the last couple of years, they've been gearing themselves up for this big change in the business environment and the landscape. Very simply, there's going to be a lot of capital that will have to be deployed again to expand, and the tower network will probably have to be redone completely to go along with the rollout from especially the larger two players. And that's exactly why, the pressure that they are exerting on Vodafone to get their views back and start looking at doing that. Because remember, there's been a capital restructuring also that's been undertaken at Indus. Equities change hands. The ownership pattern is completely different from what it used to be, let's say, about 18 months back. So I think all of that tells you that this is one company that finally probably has its place under the sun, which is going to shine much more brightly. It's just a question of rollout time and the patience that you need to have for that to be matched. It's going to be more of a consolidation that's time bound on the stock movement at least. But I think it's one of the best offerings in that space. You really don't have choices, Rima, in terms of what you could do to participate if you had to do on a neutral 5G infrastructure play, right? So I think Indus from that perspective will start attracting a lot of attention and some capital soon. But the only thing that you have to look at very closely is in terms of how they are able to manage their capex, which is going to be undertaken, and how that's going to get funded. So if that is healthy enough, it doesn't kind of impair the balance sheet in a very unfavorable way, I think it will start getting much more premium ratings than it has historically in the past.
So Prakash, if you had to talk about the buy recommendations in the telecom sector, you have Bharti, Reliance, Vodafone Idea, as well as Indus Stars. And even some of these telecom equipment players like an ITI or Tejas Networks, which ones would you recommend?
So I think, if you look at the way Tejas is growing, it's especially after, the marriage with the Tata Group, the kind of synergies that are coming in, there's no reason why they will not benefit, and there's always this angle on the IT side also. Telecom and IT as a mix, Tech Mahindra always comes to mind in terms of their ability to be able to straddle this growth phase. But I would believe Tejas from the equipment side and Indus from the infra side are very clear beneficiaries of this. In terms of Jio and Bharti, the race will continue to hot up, and my sense is it will take some time before the benefits start accruing to their P&Ls. And Jio, of course, is a little bit of a complex play because of other things. When you buy the stock, when you buy the Reliance Industries stock, you really get to buy other things along with that. So that's one of the reasons why I would play it from a direct telecom benefit perspective. But I think Tejas and Indus definitely make the grade from a medium to long-term perspective.
Okay, that's Prime Minister Modi perhaps enjoying maybe a bit of gaming and what the gaming experience can be in 5G. So I'm sure it's going to be a very, very interesting times for India and even at IMC in terms of just understanding how the various use cases and, today, I think over the course of the next 3 days, we will only see a part of the potential of 5G. But that's Prime Minister Narendra Modi sitting out in front of the steering wheel, perhaps enjoying a bit of, the gaming experience. In moments from now, we expect Prime Minister Modi to address the media as well as he gets set to launch the 5G services. Jaideep Ghosh, the Chief Operating Officer at Shardul Amarchand Mangaldas and Company, is also with us. Jaideep, the era of 5G is truly upon